What is wrong?
Congo is a sorry state. That unfortunate country, blessed in its mineral, blessed in our people, but our leaders, whether it was Moise Chombe or Kasavubu or Mobutu or the two Kabilas, they have failed to realize that leadership is about servanthood, is about trusteeship. The net effect is Congo is the only country in the world that I know whose leader's term comes to an end and he says, we have no money to hold elections. That rich country. And my frustration is that the African Union should have moved into that country with the firmness that sees Joseph Kabila leave office. Whenever African Union or ECOWAS did that, ECOWAS has done that on 2 occasions. In the Gambia, they forced Yahya Jammeh out of office. In Liberia, they put their foot down. So what I expect is that even SADC, because Congo is in SADC, that SADC tells Kabila, you must leave office. We are not going to allow you to mess up a country. But that is the kind of thing that you've seen even in Europe when there was the trouble in Kosovo and those areas. Europe said, not in our backyard. Africa must say, not in our backyard. Because if there are problems in Congo, you border 9 other African countries, you are generating refugees and stressing our resources. And these are the kind of things that make one angry. One wants to be a chairman of African Union, and one wants to be a crusader. You cannot sit in the African Union like a bureaucrat, for God's sake. You need a crusader who annoys and irritates African leaders, even if they remove him after 2 days.
You talk of silencing the guns.
Yes.
We report helplessly. People are dying in Africa. We report helplessly, and the AU does nothing.
Only yesterday, 3 days ago, I wrote a letter to the chairman of the AU, Dr. Mahamat Musa, and said, please send a fact-finding mission to southern Cameroon. Houses are being burnt. Women are being raped. People are not going to school. Call and convene a meeting of African heads of states of government as an urgent act. But somehow, maybe is handicapped in some way. They are lethargic. Somehow, they cannot act. Somehow, they are untouched and unmoved. And letters such as ours perhaps are dismissed as the frustrations of inconsequential individuals, which time will render useless. It is sad. But yet we can not afford the luxury of giving up hope.
Then meaning this project needs to be spearheaded by the proletariat, that if there's something to learn from the Arab Springs, is that when the proletariat, when you have the working class that is fed up, things will change.
And in fact, the working class, not only the proletariat, even the middle class, if you look at what happened in Tahrir Square, it was not just the masses, it was the professionals, the doctors, the lawyers, the business people. They said, we are tired. They started in a most innocuous way in Tunisia, then they came to Egypt. That is what is going to happen. Young Africans are beginning to say, we have waited for too long. When you see Nigerians in different parts of the world, they are some of the most industrious people that I know. When you see Zimbabweans with 90% unemployment, when you see Eritreans, when you see the Sudanese or the Malians or the Gambians going to Europe and America, it is not because they like it. If there were conditions that were suitable in Africa, they would struggle at home. Yes. But when you hear a young person say, he'd rather die at sea than to remain at home, that is not human. The human nature is self-preservation. When a human being says that, there must be something so grave at home, something so dehumanizing. That is what African leaders sometimes do not know. When I see them in limousines and in private jets, with motorcades, I say, these men, not all of them, these men, who are they? Where did they come from? that they are so insensitive that they go to countries and receive 21 gun salutes and their people are dying at home. Who are they? Are their hearts made of stone? Do they have eyes and they do not see, ears and they do not hear? Are their consciences so seared? I ask. And many Africans ask, even in their silence. But we cannot keep quiet. We must continue to raise our voices, talking not with the arrogance that will inflame their anger, but with the firmness and the clarity that will in the fullness of time, open their eyes. That is our patriotic duty.
You talk of the optimists and the pessimists.
Yes.
And then somewhere in between there,
Yes.
we have the comprador bourgeoisie. What do we do with this segment?
You know, you call them in the classical tradition of defining people as the comprador bourgeoisie. These are the people who lend themselves to being used by the erstwhile colonial power.
Yes.
We must liberate them from themselves. They are capable of being liberated. Such individuals have very short-term goals, the goal of self-gratification. They are the ones who actually destroy their countries through corruption.
Are they not a bigger danger
than
the capitalists or the colonizers themselves, because they are amongst us?
Oh, the comprador bourgeois has always been very dangerous because they are the ones who steal from Africa and they have no faith in Africa. They keep their loot in other parts of the world. And in other parts of the world, such individuals in China, whether they call them comprador bourgeois or call them anything else, when they are caught, they are executed as an example to others. There is no shortage of them. And somehow, this comprador bourgeois, they have the uncanny habit of getting into public office. They are the ones whom we elect in many African countries. And once we elect them, they think they are holding our brief, but they are holding their own brief, and they are asking to be bought by any person who is in the political purchase market.
My goodness.
These are individuals who must be identified. I'm suggesting, therefore, that the African electorate must also be enlightened. The African electorate's affinity for thieves is something that is scaring. We elect into office individuals whose only claim to fame is that they are thieves. To use the words of Liberia's Boima Fanbule, they steal on an industrial scale. We must do that. Is it going to be easy? Perhaps not. Experience has shown that it's not easy. Must we give up? No, not at all. Must we speak about and against it? Yes, because history has also demonstrated that that which is clear must be repeated times without number so it becomes as clear as gold. Will it be achieved in like instant coffee? No. Therefore, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon race. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Professor,
yes.
I could sit at your feet and listen to you speak all day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts, my hopes, and my frustrations. But I remain optimistic.
And so do we. On that note, good night, South Africa.